run out. Hello, welcome to my review of The Timeless Children. How do you expect me to review that?
Approximately 10 hours later.
No. This is going to be more difficult than it sounds. But in all seriousness, let's just get into the things I liked and disliked about the episode. So let's just start out with the Master, because he's the bit we were most anticipating in Ascension of the Cybermen. You know, apart from the resolution of the arc. The Master, this time around, has been really entertaining. He's dark, he's malicious, he's just the Master incarnate, and Sacha Dhawan really plays the part well and makes it his own. Also, he calls the Cybermen Sibs. The Leakley Bible is now canon. The Cybermen were actually alright in this episode. They did take a back seat, but I feel like Ashad was done pretty well, even if he was just killed off bluntly and just out of nowhere. Graham, Yaz, Ravio, and the other one, oh yeah, one of them gets killed off. Yeah, they were good. Mainly Graham and Yaz, although the scene where Graham was basically telling the audience that Yaz is great kind of rubbed me off the wrong way, but it was handled very well, and as a scene without any of the context, it was beautiful. It's possibly one of the greatest scenes in this season. This episode had a lot of those. Also, Graham's suggestion to open up a Cyberman is pretty funny, and then the fan surrogate is just like, human remains are in there. But, you know, he said it's not a great plan. Speaking of not so great plans, the Cybermen's plan, by the way, I'm gonna just jump around plot points of this episode because it's gonna keep me sane, to purge the universe of all organic components so they're completely mechanized. Like, first of all, purging the universe of all organic components, Master says, stupid plan, and then the Cybermen are like, oh no, we're just gonna be robots, and then Master's like, you what? So, I feel like the Master was handled well, but I just disagree with this plan for the Cybermen. Their ascension being full mechanization just isn't very Cyberman, in my opinion. Cybermen are meant to be an upgrade of humanity. They're trying to get the best of both worlds, the best of the organic components, but removing the worst through technology. Although the Master's plan to create Time Lord Cyberman hybrids, that is very fan-wanky, but I love it because, you know, the Master would try to do that. It's completely in character, and, you know, he's trying to create an unstoppable force and his own army, and I'm surprised Doctor Who's not really done that before. Supremacy of the Cybermen, get out. So, Ryan Kosharmis and the other one had a nice, you know, thing, like defending themselves. The scene I want to point out for Ryan is the scene where he throws the bomb, as that's a nice callback to the first episode of the season, and how his dyspraxia fails him sometimes, but not all the time, and he succeeded, and just the way he reacted to successfully doing it, it's just so adorable. So, before I get on to the Doctor, I will speak about Gallifrey. It looks beautiful. I'm glad the Panopticon's back. I'm ecstatic the Matrix is back, especially seeing how it's more of the Deadly Assassin vibe, where it's just a trippy landscape. So the Doctor in this episode. And I know what you're thinking, which one? Because of the whole background and how Tecteun found her, and took her in, and then found out, oh shit, she can regenerate, and then made Time Lord Society through regeneration and all that, which, by the way, that whole sequence, beautiful. Especially the shot where, like, the Citadel's being built. Everyone says it's great. The Doctor, and how she reacts, is perfect. She's being pushed to her limit, and that's what I've wanted to see. I've not wanted to see a complete change in character. I didn't want her to become darker. Sort of like how 12 became lighter over time. I wanted to see her challenged, which is what the Fifth Doctor was best at when he was challenged, which we only saw on TV in The Caves of Androzani, but in Big Finish he's challenged a lot more, and we get the best performances out of that. Spare Parts is popular for a reason.
Also, this scene is so fucking beautiful. Like, oh my god.
like Doctor Who theme blaring. It's probably the best scene of this season, and if this episode was the final episode of Doctor Who ever, this scene alone makes it a fitting end to the series. But the scene is so good! That's everything I want to say plot-wise. Nothing else really stands out other than this whole canon-shattering debacle of the timeless child being the Doctor. Ooh, I have mixed thoughts on it. I like the idea of all of, like, Time Lord history being built upon a lie. Very fascinating, and I accept that. I also accept how Time Lord regeneration came from the timeless child, but said child being the Doctor sort of makes the Doctor like a chosen one, and I hate chosen one prophecies. If you're going to be a hero, you've got to earn your stripes, but the Doctor created a civilization. It's just like, knowingly or not, that just ruins the idea of the Doctor in my head, because the Doctor, part of the Doctor's charm for me was just they were an outsider from their own people. They went away, but then they discovered, hey, I just want to travel and I want to help people. The Doctor needs to be a normal, and this sort of elevates the Doctor to a godlike figure, which is something that I didn't like in the Davies era, despised in the Moffat era, and I just really dislike here. But I'm accepting of Doctors, or incarnations, should I say, existing pre-Hartnell. But in all honesty, it's here now, and it doesn't really affect the Doctor as a character. It doesn't really affect the show, because just this change in lore doesn't really affect how we should perceive the show. And that was the message they were trying to get at with the whole, look, Doctor, how is your past? Your past doesn't define you, your actions define you, and I feel like that is a really strong message in general. Not just like a meta message about the show, but a message to us, the audience. Our past does not define us. What we do now and how we treat each other and just the actions that we take now, that's what define us. The past, sure, that's made us what we are now. That doesn't make us who we are. The present does. Remember that. Although Council of Geeks is right, saying if it didn't change the Doctor as a character at this point moving forward, then what was the point in the reveal? I can't really think of anything bad about this episode, just some stuff that niggled me. And there was enough of those niggles that made me go, no, I honestly feel like, yeah, this can't be a 10 out of 10. So I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10 as well. So that means the series finale, essentially the Cybermen / the Timeless Children, I will give a 9 out of 10. I somehow managed to put a number to my feelings towards this. Also, Series 12 has been my favourite season, even if it exists just to canonise the Morbius Doctors. Right. Review over. I guess I should check my phone now.